Starting with the NV17, we'll move to the left side of the laptop, where you'll find a slot loading Blu-ray drive. You'll find two USB 3.0 ports, a microphone jack, and two headphone inputs. Useful for if you're traveling, you want to watch a movie and share the audio with someone. And you also have the hole for the Kensington lock. Moving over to the front, you'll find two Beats audio speakers here under the left palm rest, as well as two under the right palm rest here. So for a total of 4 speakers in the front of the laptop. And then moving to the right side, you'll find the SD card reader, an activity light, HDMI port, 2 display ports, 2 more USB 3.0 ports, the Beats audio volume rocker, the Ethernet jack, and the place for the power cable with the light to indicate that it's plugged in and working. So let's move over to the DV7 on the left side of the laptop, where you'll find an exhaust vent, VGA input, HDMI input, an Ethernet port with a cover on it, 2 USB 3.0 ports, microphone input, and headphone jack. Now the previous generation did have dual headphone jacks just like the Envy does, but this generation they've cut back and there's only one, so I'm not really sure why they decided to do that. Moving over to the front of the laptop, there's an SD card reader that's kind of hard to see here, but it's right here. There are no speakers or anything on the front of the DV7. So let's move over to the right side, where you'll find the activity light, USB 3.0 and 2.0 port, and a Blu-ray drive. It's a tray loading type of drive instead of slot loading like on the Envy, and the power cable with the light also to indicate that it's plugged in and working. So you'll notice that I said that the DV7 has a USB 2.0 port. So it actually has 3 USB 2.0 and 1 USB 2.0. Whereas on the NV17 you get 4 USB 3.0 ports. Now the main difference really in ports is when it comes down to how you want to use a display setup with these laptops. On the DV7, because of the way that the VGA and HDMI ports are arranged, and also the way that the hardware is configured, you can't use both of these inputs at the same time. You, for one, can't physically fit a VGA cable and an HDMI cable next to it, but 2, it won't actually output a video signal if you have both of them plugged in. So unfortunately on the DV7 you're limited to 1 external monitor unless you get a USB display adapter or something like that. But on the NV17, with its AMD graphic card and Infinity support, and having a HDMI port plus 2 display ports, you can hook up 3 external monitors out of the box to this laptop. So if you have a multi-monitor setup and want to use it with your laptop, the NV17 is definitely has the advantage over the DV7 in that department. We're going to also talk about the touchpads real quickly too, and also the fingerprint reader here on the DV7, which the NV17 does not have. But the touchpad on these 2 laptops are very different. The finish on here is a matte black to blend in with the rest of the DV7. It's got a metal accent around here. That is metal, it's not plastic. And it has a little bit more resistance on it than the Envy, but it is more, or it's less sensitive and a lot less touchy, which is a good thing compared to the Envy. And it's got separate mouse buttons for the left and right click, as well as the touchpad lock button here. So if you're using a real mouse and you don't want to accidentally move the mouse or make selections and stuff, you can disable the touchpad and the light turns on to tell you that the touchpad lock is activated. You just double tap to turn it on and off. And on the Envy, it has the all-in-one click pad type touchpad. So there aren't any mouse buttons on top. You simply click either side of the touchpad here. It doesn't, you can click up here too. So it's kind of confusing. I guess, HP wanted to help you out if you've never used an all-in-one touchpad here with this line here to kind of show you where traditionally the mouse buttons would be. But you can click pretty much anywhere here. Although in the top corner there is a dead space, you can't click up here. It also has the touchpad lock button up there to disable the touchpad when you don't want to use it, as well as the same light as on the DV7. So next up we're going to take a look and listen to the different speaker setups on these two laptops.